Infusing music, connecting people, making a difference. This is Jazz in the Spirit with Richard DeBrew Jr. There we go. All right. Let's see here. Make sure everybody's in. And okay. All right, folks. All right. It's good to see you all. Thank you all for being here. And I'm going to just check one thing right quick. Oh, yeah, we're good. All right. So, hello, everyone. This is Richard DeBrew Jr., gospel jazz saxophonist, pianist, songwriter, and I love this music, as you know. And I wanted to tell you that this shirt comes all the way from South Africa. And so I also want to greet you in Xhosa language, Molweni, which is a greeting to a group for any part of the day. All right. So I have an announcement. I just received word yesterday that my song, Look and Live, which was digitally distributed by the company TuneCore, was certified to have surpassed 100 streams worldwide. Woohoo! Because gospel jazz is still considered a niche market, this is still a significant milestone. So I am grateful. And I want to publicly thank my publicist, Andrea Renee Williams, as well as my radio promoter, Brother C. Barry Martin, and all the program directors and radio announcers across the US and elsewhere for playing my music on their stations. And a very special shout out to Brother Randy Johnson of Rejoice Richmond 101.3 FM, right here in the Richmond area, who I just spoke to today for literally playing my music every day since August of last year. That's just really, really special. And I really appreciate him for doing that. So, thank you so much, Brother Randy. And thank you, everyone, for making that possible. So, support those who support you. Amen, somebody. And I also want you all to see the concrete proof that if you commit to making a difference by being a blessing to others, you will also be blessed. So I am thankful. So this is part 2 of my Black History Month series introducing Tyrone Birkett. So today I will do a 15-minute music focus, spotlighting some more of Tyrone's music that he sent me. We will have the pleasure of speaking with him and interacting with him live next week, February 16th at 9 p.m. So definitely, I hope that you all can be there. Now, Tyrone describes himself as a conceptualist, a composer, and a saxophonist. And he's created a niche for himself in 2 ways. Musically, he draws on the deep emotional power of the spirituals and fuses them with the musical vocabulary of legendary jazz influencers like Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, Charles Mingus, Miles Davis, and others to create what he calls new freedom songs or postmodern spirituals. They carry the same sense of soulful urgency, but blended with a level of eloquence from the rich vocabulary of jazz. So that's what he does musically. But in addition to the music, conceptually, Tyrone makes a difference by using his music to enrich the community culturally, and he also is able to employ other musicians and pay them well by writing grants and receiving commissions for his compositions for targeted purposes with messages in mind, which also gives him the creative freedom to write as he truly feels led. So I'll let him say more about that next week. But today, I want to look at how he fuses music in this excerpt from his song. It's from his Postmodern Spirituals album, and the song is called Motherless Child Revisited. So this is our spotlighted artist for the month of February, Mr. Tyrone Birkett. And I'm going to pull this up just a moment. There we go. And we'll put his video up. I hope that you all will enjoy this. Well, I know you'll enjoy it. It's his version of the spiritual motherless child. What just happened? Wait a minute. Let me do that again.
Leaving the pain of yesterday to be free in my soul and my mind. I will not let it go and give up. It's a dream that I'll wake up to live. Yeah, sometimes I feel I'm already there. Sometimes I feel it could be any day now. Sometimes I feel like I'm already there. The dream will come alive. The dream will come alive.
Yes. That's his wife, Paula Ralph Birkett, singing. Yes. All right. Yeah. They that was an excerpt that they performed live, and wow. I mean, just both of them are incredibly talented. So it is so great just being able to share some of that music with you. So let me show you what I was talking about. When we won't have time to analyze the whole song, but let me take a closer look at two things. Look at this chord progression that when you heard he and Paula sing together, they had this little melody that they were doing. Right? So what you heard there, musicians, and those of you that may have an interest in this, there was an E7, right, and an F major 7, but then a G minor 7, and then a G flat, right, a passing chord to F minor. So when they put it together, you heard this melody that was kind of um, the melody was kind of like a blend of jazz and blues and gospel, as only someone who's well versed in all three could do. So when you hear that, but then you hear that over this melody, right? That's a hot little progression right there. And the thing is, you could use that in a jazz piece, you could use that in a gospel piece, you could use that, of course, in a gospel jazz piece, or as he calls it, in a postmodern spiritual. But it's a really nice progression. It's well thought out. And so he fused elements that were borrowed from gospel and jazz to do that. And then the second part that I wanted to show you is this reharmonization of the melody. Some of you may be familiar with the old spiritual, Sometimes I Feel Like a Motherless Child, right? Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. A long way from home. A long way from home. And so, but what they did is they put, listen to these chords, all right? Starts with the same. Sometimes I feel like a, watch this, motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. You hear that? And then when they're in the main part of the song, they do a whole chromatic thing. A long way from home. A long way from home. And even the last note goes up. So so this is, you see that he's borrowed chords from jazz and put them in the spiritual, but he's kept the essence of the melody recognizable. So I want you all to be able to learn more about Tyrone just visit TyroneBirkett.com, and let me spell it for you. Tyrone. That's pretty obvious, but Birkett is spelled with an I, not a U. So Birkett. So Tyrone Birkett, Birkett.com. Check him out. He's got some wonderful music that he's composed and arranged. And I want you all to go support him and learn all about it. So that's the essence of what we got here. I want to thank you for joining us today and taking part in this vision. We fused music by the example of Motherless Child, connecting people by bringing you all together to spotlight Tyrone, and making a difference by showing you how he uses music to enrich the community as well as to employ fellow musicians. So we invite you to like, follow, and share Jazz in the Spirit. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, and we're even on Twitch, y'all. So let us know what you thought of this show. And if you would like to meet Mr. Tyrone Birkett next week, tune in at 9 p.m. as we tackle the topic, keeping the main thing the main thing. All right. So thank you all so much. And with that, we will go ahead and say goodnight. Fusing music, connecting people, making a difference. This is Jazz in the Spirit with Richard DeDrew Jr.